Welcome back to the Tacomaholic channel, everybody. In today's video, I'll be going over 4 things you should know about the Icon Billet upper control arms with the delta joints. So let's get started. Today's video is sponsored by the number 5 and the letter Q.
Whatever you say, pal.
And the first thing to mention has already been mentioned, is they are billet, which according to Google, because I've always heard this term and never really knew what it meant, billet means whatever it is made out of one piece versus being cast or poured or whatever. It's supposed to add a little bit of strength. Will I ever wheel hard enough to actually test that out? Probably not, but it's good to have regardless. All right, guys, the next few items are related to the greasing of these upper control arms, which I have seen when I sort of did my research on them. Squeakiness is probably the biggest complaint I've seen people had. You have to be religious about greasing these. Icon recommends every 3,000 miles, so I know a lot of people with greasable UCAs, they sort of throw that in whenever they do their oil changes, and it seems like most people are probably doing oil changes every 5,000 miles. Of course, everyone's different, so if you're one of those people that wanted to line up the greasing of the UCAs with the oil changes, not recommended for these. Like I said, every 3,000 miles, you have to be religious with them. I've had these upper control arms now for about 1.5 years, if I remember correctly. I have greased them religiously every 3,000 miles, have not had any squeaking so far. There is a specific type of grease. I'll put it up on the screen now that Icon recommends, and I'll put a link for it down in the description below. And greasing these is super easy, as you'll see in just a second. Okay guys, greasing these is super simple. I'm not actually going to show you how to do it since I'm actually in the parking lot over here, but I'll walk you through it. Verbal instructions, like I mentioned, super easy. First of all, you want to make sure the truck is on the ground, all 4 tires supported with all the weight on the upper control arm. Right here is the top dust cap, just a protective cover. This is held on by 4 hex head bolts. They are, I can't remember the exact size, but they are standard, not metric. Little Allen key to take those off. They're not on there super tight. There is a rubber O-ring underneath this that again helps keep the elements out. Check the condition of that. One of mine on the driver's side, this is the passenger side, the other one was a little worn, so I went ahead and ordered a new one just to keep that seal nice and strong. Once you have the cap off, go ahead and wipe off the Zerk fitting, which is right in the center on the top of the delta joint. Get the grease that I linked to below. They are specific about that, and pump in new grease until you see it coming out the bottom. Clean that up, wipe off the Zerk fitting, and just reverse the steps. Get the O-ring into place. Tighten the cap to the German standard, good and tight. Again, just hand tight, these aren't that tight, and you are good to go. Obviously, do that for both sides and you're done. Every 3,000 miles, no excuses. All right, and the last thing we'll talk about is the pricing. These are definitely not cheap if you get them at full price, which I want to say is around $1,500. I wasn't shopping around for my set. I just happened to stumble across what I believe is a clerical error on Amazon. So I got them for, it was like 60 or 70% discount. I'm killing myself now for not like buying 5 sets and just reselling them, but I'm pretty sure someone got fired for that. So I was really surprised when they actually showed up for the price I paid. The ones I got were not the delta joint, so I think those, the regular joint, are something like $1,100 or $1,200, so a little cheaper. And just to bring up, if you want to get the ones with the delta joint, it is much cheaper to do that and just get them with the delta joint from the factory, because otherwise, obviously, you need to buy the delta joint, which is around $250, and you have to buy a special adapter to actually press the delta joint in, which I didn't have one of the big C clamps to actually do that, so I took them to a shop and I had to provide the tool for that, and that was a whole other thing. I'll link this video right up here if you want to see how the shop mangled these super expensive upper control arms and ended up reimbursing me for the entire thing. Because they are aluminum, I guess, a little more fragile with the tools, even though I told the tech that, and I don't know what happened, totally mangled one of them. So like I mentioned, if you want to get these with the delta joint, it'll save you a couple $100 if you just get them from the factory like that. Current prices, and again, this varies depending on where you're buying them. Just from Icon, it looks like it is $1,422 versus $1,572. So you see about $150 savings right there. And of course, keep checking Amazon. Maybe that clerical error will pop up again. All right, guys, that's going to do it for my talking part of the video. Now it's your turn to go ahead and comment below. Let me know if you are actually considering any of the Icon upper control arms for your Tacoma. They have the billet ones, which I went over here today. They also have the regular tubular versions that you can also get the delta joint on, which I want to say they're about $400 cheaper, so a little more affordable option. Not to say that they are cheap in any case. So go ahead and comment below and let me know if you're considering Icon for your upper control arms or some other brand. Definitely curious. As always, thank you so much for supporting the channel by watching this video, Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next video.